Hello again, Survivors and Game Production back again. Today we are doing another episode of the Walking Dead podcast, episode 2, season 5, Strangers. Um, if you guys haven't seen the last one, hopefully you have. This you don't need to see it in order, but you should since it's a TV show that needs to be in order.
Yeah, it helps quite a bit. Just don't want to miss anything because there are some things that come back from last episode that we'll mention in this one, and spoilers. Good to,
Yeah, I think
good
it's
to
like
keep
one of
up.
those shows that you need to watch, back to back for
Yeah.
sure. But like for these podcasts, you probably should as well. Um, so hopefully you've seen the last one. Like I said, if you haven't, we'll do a brief summary for you. What happens is they're all kind of walking on this road after they destroy Terminus and escape, and it's a lot of dialogue scenes switching to this slow motion walking and
Yeah,
everything.
a lot of slow motion walking.
A lot of talking, a lot of all that. Um, and kind of characters and their relationships between each other. Daryl thinks he like hears something in the woods when they're stopped, but he looks around and he doesn't see anything. But we'll see that come back later.
Yeah.
Yes, lots of talking and things, and then they hear some screams and they run towards it, and there's this preacher dude sitting on a rock getting some zombies trying to eat his feet, and he's like, "Ooh, I can't, fight them." And
Yeah, it
they're
was pretty
grabbing.
clear that he didn't have a weapon or like he wasn't experienced at all with walkers because even after the fight, he was vomiting and stuff, and it just I don't know, it's pretty
He's what
clear.
he's what I call a fresh spawn. Didn't really have a lot of. He didn't, he's never been around the block any times. Um, Rick asked him the three questions: how many walkers have you killed? He hasn't killed any people. Have you killed? He says none. And he says like why? And he's like, oh, the Lord,
Yeah,
doesn't
the
like
Lord doesn't like violence.
yeah, and he's like, yeah, okay, because
Uh-huh.
Rick doesn't believe him
Yeah.
because he can't trust no one. But yeah, they go back to his church. They're kind of Rick and Abraham are kind of arguing a little bit of whether they should just head on to DC because Abraham finds a van, and Rick convinces the group. Well, they all follow him really. He's like, "Oh, we need supplies more," which makes a lot more sense. And then they go to get supplies. They all split up. Um, Glenn and a few others go into a gun store, get some suppressors. Daryl and Carol go find a car that works, but they're gonna store it for later in case the church goes south. I think is what they said.
Yeah.
And Rick and quite a few others go to get some food, and they go to this kind of like warehousey. Well, it was like a food storage.
It
place.
was food storage for the kids for the church that Gabriel had,
Right.
and they were supposed to work there afterwards or something like that, right?
Yeah. So they go there, and there's like a hole in the floor and a bunch of food there, but there's a bunch of like walkers down there, waterlogged. They're really, like their skin was hanging off.
Yeah, there was a few that were just like skeletons, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
So they go down there, fight and stuff. Bob gets grabbed, but he's like, "Oh, I'm okay." Uh, Gabriel sees somebody or a walker he thinks he knew before, or he knows he knew
Yeah, he
before.
definitely knew.
Walker, the Walker syndrome of no skin and stuff, or
hmm
skin falling off.
Yeah.
He gets afraid. Rick saves him. They have a ton of food. Go back, have like this feast. But Carl, he sees that before they have this feast. Carl sees like a whole bunch of scratch marks by the windows. Somebody trying to get in, and some words scratched in like the side of the wall, saying "You'll burn for this." So they think
Yeah.
that Gabriel has done something, that makes him evil, or that he's not who he says he is. We actually see Gabriel looking at a picture, seeing him and his that one walker that he recognized. I think they were together or something. We weren't quite sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they have a feast. It's all happy. Rick decides, "Yep, let's go to DC," and everybody's cheers, because they want to cure everything with Eugene's cure that he says he has. And then Bob kind of leaves, and you see him kind of smiling, looking at the church, and like walks away and gets like knocked out or whatever
hmm
by some hooded figure. I know Carol goes and goes to the car and starts it up and stuff. Like looks like she's going to leave, and Daryl like comes out of nowhere, and they're kind of talking a little bit, and then he sees this car race past with like a cross on the back of it that we saw from the episode where Beth was taken, and he starts uh the like the turning lights or whatever on the back,
Yeah.
just the lights, so it could, I guess, be stealthier. And he's like, "All right, we gotta go get her." They hop in the car and start driving away, and then we go back to Bob. I don't know if that's out of
It
order,
was
but
yeah, it was something like
yeah,
that. Close
but
enough.
yeah, there's what's his name? Terminus leader. What's his name?
Uh,
Um, Gareth.
yeah,
So Gareth's there. Martin's there. The dude that Tyrese. Yeah, that's actually his name, Martin, not like whatever we called him.
Joe
Uh,
or whatever.
yeah, he's sitting there as well with Gareth. So apparently Tyrese didn't kill him, and as we kind of expected. But
Hmm.
so they're talking. He's like, "We didn't mean to do this to you." And, Gareth says in
It's
his,
nothing personal.
and then he kind of like points down at his Bob's leg, and he looks down, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, it's just a stump." And as the camera angle shows, and then he's like, "Oh," and then they're all eating his leg meat,
Yeah,
and they're like, if it makes you feel any better, you taste much better than you thought you than we thought you would. And
yeah,
then they eat his leg, and it's like, oh, do do do.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
end of the episode, ending on a
Yeah.
happy note. But
All right.
yeah, that's basically that.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the topics. So
Yeah.
you mentioned this, Adam.
Yeah.
You saw with the water situation, right? So
The
with
water
they
situation.
just took bottles of water and dipped it in.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I had seen this in the show when we were first watching it. So basically, what they did is there was this stream, and it was all like mud water, and they were just taking their bottles and filling them up in the stream. And I was just wondering if they had any way to clean that up, because they
Hmm.
could get sick from stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's drinking contaminated water isn't exactly a good idea. And
Right.
no way of cleaning it was shown. So,
Yeah.
just,
I've yeah, I agree with you.
hmm
I mean, maybe they could just be taking it later to boil it and stuff and
yeah,
filter it,
that's
but
true.
it doesn't show that. So
Uh huh.
maybe they're trying to skip the boring stuff, but still,
Yeah.
it's important.
Uh huh.
Because I have like read some stuff, and you can actually like not really well, but you can kill a lot of bacteria with just
Yeah.
sunlight. And there's other stuff like using bleach and things.
Hmm.
But yeah, interesting. So they mentioned what was his name, like Sam. They actually mentioned his death. So people that didn't catch on, they like mentioned in this episode, and so people that didn't realize it before realize it now. But I am glad how they did it. They didn't really like, oh, remember that guy when I banished you? His name's
Yeah.
Sam, whatever, and his girlfriend died. Yeah, he was here, and he got his head or his slit or neck slit,
Uh huh.
slit neck. But they're just like, yeah, I saw him he got killed as Carol handed him his watch. So I was kind of glad they're subtle with that.
Uh huh.
Um, so I think Rick, he was making a good point how they never really knew when he was talking to Carol how like they didn't know how bad it was on the outside when they sent her away. He's like, we sent you away to this, and he's like, will you have us? Like,
Uh huh.
will you forgive us? But we see later Carol's kind of, I don't know, maybe she doesn't feel as accepted as Rick thought she would
There's a
feel.
few others. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of wants to ditch that group.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe all those months or whatever of being alone have affected her.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So Adam, what time of the year do you think it is? Like I was thinking,
Oh.
because at the end of last season, it seems like it was getting into winter or it was like fall because Rick
Yeah.
had that fur coat or whatever. And then this episode, he ditched it, and everybody was sweating. Well, he still
Yeah,
has it,
that's
but
true. They actually mentioned like how hot it was in the
yeah,
beginning, or like
yeah,
hot sun beating on my back. Oh,
yeah.
it's just yeah, all that. Um,
Game.
so I mean, they might not be super consistent. It might just have been a hot day or something.
Yeah.
It's probably their justification of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, winter, that's important. That could be bad.
Yeah. I think it'd be
Um,
cool to have winter in the show. They
it
haven't put winter
yeah,
in the show yet, but I don't
if
think
they
there's really
have.
much winter down in Georgia. No, that
Yeah,
they
that's true. It's
yeah,
usually pretty hot.
they skipped it basically for the seasons when
Have
they.
like a polar vortex, so they get like half
Yes.
an inch of snow. That's an
Yeah.
actual thing that happened.
Yeah, I know. We had that. I was like,
Uh-huh.
ooh, polar vortex. I was
Yeah,
like,
by the way, it's
cold.
negative 50 outside, so don't go outside.
Or
And
you'll
in Georgia,
die.
they got the quarter inch of snow or whatever it was, and schools were canceled all over the
Yeah.
place. And
There's chaos everywhere. Snow.
I can almost feel it when I touch the ground. All right. Anyway, um,
All right. Enough making fun of the South.
yeah.
Uh,
Um,
all right. So, would you have trusted Gabriel when when he talked to you, and would you think he would be leading you into a trap, or do you think he was just,
they had that part where he was like talking to them, and he was like, "Or I could be leading you into a trap, and my men could be right around the corner."
steal your
I have a great
swords?
sense of humor, and it
Yeah.
was like, no, that's not funny at all. But, um, uh, yeah, I mean, I think that the way he was acting, I wouldn't have trusted the guy.
Yeah.
There
Like,
was too
yeah.
much risk there.
Yeah, when Rick was explaining it to Carl, Carl was like, well, why
Uh,
shouldn't we trust him? You know?
just trust no one. You're never safe, even if
Yeah.
you're with people you know in a big crowd.
Yeah.
You're
I
not
totally
safe.
agree with that,
Uh huh.
Just one little mistake, one little thought, like, oh, I'm safe. I'm gonna go pee or something in the
Yeah.
woods, and you're dead. You're gonna
Uh huh.
get daled, and Walker's gonna come out and eat you.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
can't be too careful.
Mhm.
But I totally wouldn't have trusted him. I mean, he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I haven't killed any walkers,
Yeah. I've
and
never killed a walker or a person ever.
yeah. I mean, that's really the trap that you do is you just, like scream for help or something, have some people run in, if they're good people, they'd run in. If they're bad people, they wouldn't. So
Uh
it's
huh.
just a way to filter. Good people run in, you're like, oh, I have a church, come follow me, plenty of food or something,
Yeah.
you say,
Right.
or it's
I mean,
safe.
that's pretty much what he said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just. Uh.
So, then going back to the church, and they jump him and be like, yo, give me all money, and
Mhm.
then, or your
They could
food.
have had like a bunch of guys in there just come out with their,
Yeah.
AKs and stuff, shoot
Yeah.
some people up.
Yeah. Not safe, man.
Uh huh.
All right. I also thought it was cool how Rick mentioned or had the three questions. I hope that will like continue through the series
Uh
because
huh.
he had these three questions that I think it was the first time he used them when was it when he asked when was the first time he used three questions? It was either at the beginning of season 4 or it was like way earlier. But I think it was way yeah, I'm not sure. But anyways, these three questions are, how many zombies have you killed, walkers, how many
Yeah.
people have you killed and why? And that's
Mhm.
how we kind of judge people who are good or bad. So if that continues throughout, that'd be cool to see how characters have changed and how much how different the answers are. Like instead of I've killed 2 or 3 people, or I've killed like a few 100 walkers, it'll be like I killed a few
Yeah.
thousand walkers, like
Yeah.
20 or 30 people.
Uh huh. That would, yeah, drastically
Yeah,
change your view on
yeah.
someone. Because
All
if
right.
they've killed like 100 people or something, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
uh,
Bam, you're
yeah,
dead. All right, so they're in the church, just little annoying things. Michonne clearing a room with their sniper rifle, and
yeah,
Glenn's bolt action rifle, the bayonet. Bayonets. I mean, you could that'd be good. I
uh
guess
huh.
to keep
Well,
zombies at a distance.
yeah,
But I guess I'd buff
better
up their.
than the like knife stab thing with
Yeah,
your arm right next to their mouth.
yeah. But it just a bolt action rifle. I mean, people are like, "Oh yeah, snipers in the zombie apocalypse," but
It
honestly,
it wouldn't be very effective. You want
I
a semi-auto assault rifle of some sort, probably.
yeah, I would never want to shoot zombies myself. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you had
it
to have a gun though,
yeah.
may as well pick something practical that doesn't weigh much.
hmm
So,
Or something that full auto you'll just miss. Like there was I have this like zombie survival guide by Max Brooks. It's a pretty good book. He wrote War Z as well. War Z. Yeah, can't talk.
okay.
And but yeah, it's stating how like machine guns you'll fire a ton around you because it's easy against humans, but
Uh
the
huh.
zombies you can't hit that max amount of body. You have to hit that like one little well placed shot, and that's
Uh
hard,
huh.
especially with a machine gun bucking up and you can't
Yeah.
hit anything. So what
Hmm.
actually would be your so you said a semi-automatic
Semi-automatic. Yeah.
semi-automatic assault rifle or some kind that would be
Yeah.
your primary that'd be what kind of gun you'd like to have in zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. I mean, something light, something that had fairly low caliber because you probably don't need that much to go through a zombie's head.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it's pretty weak already.
Mhm.
So yeah, just low caliber semi-auto assault rifle of some sort,
Right.
or even like a silenced pistol or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Um. Hmm. Yeah, I'd probably try to, the same. Probably not low
Mhm.
caliber 22, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
a little higher than that.
Uh
But
huh.
you don't need,
We don't need the pellet
sniper.
gun that big guy. Dang it, don't remember people's names, but
Tyrese, yeah.
Tyrese. Yeah, I'd want something better than that, but
Yeah. Probably like like a 5.56 would be seem like pretty common, like a standard military round.
hmm
But
yeah,
for like a melee weapon, I probably want something blunt because you don't want to cut yourself by accident.
yeah, that's true.
And
That'd be a worry.
yeah, I'd probably have like a baseball bat would be good, I guess, or
Uh
like
huh.
a crowbar.
Yeah.
Crowbars always seem good.
Uh huh.
All right.
Back to the episode.
Yeah. So, would you rather have put going to Washington over priority or getting supplies over as priority?
Um, honestly, I'd be supplies is my main priority
Right.
in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Getting to Washington, though, if there's a chance that there's a cure, may as well, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't keep living how you're living. They mentioned that a few times. Like, do we want to just wake up and survive every day, or do you want to really live?
Yeah.
And all that.
I mean, it's yeah, you should go to Washington and stuff. I mean, that's a definitely high priority. Try to cure the
Mhm.
zombie apocalypse,
But you
but
don't want to starve on your way there.
yeah, what's the point of trying to save it if you're gonna die along the way of, dehydration or starvation? It's not
hmm
worth it if you're just gonna die. So,
Yeah.
but I put surviving above living,
Yeah.
because if you got to find the right balance between humanity and inhumanity to survive. So,
Uh huh.
alrighty. So I think Rick and Carl's talk about how strong they can be and they have to be. Carl's like, well, we're strong enough that we can help people, but still be able to protect ourselves and
Yeah.
others. If it goes down, if it goes bad.
Uh huh.
And that's making a good point. Like they've definitely been through a lot, and I think they're really tough group, so they don't need to really worry about. Well, they definitely need to worry, but they don't need to worry as much, I guess,
Uh huh.
about. No, no. I think everybody's bad. I'm kind of going against Carl. He's like becoming the
Yeah.
moral compass again,
Uh huh.
which makes no sense because he just shot kids. You just be like, bam,
Uh
hand
huh.
gun, you're dead. He
Yeah.
was kind of crazy earlier, and now he's like, oh, we gotta think of the children.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So, all right. So that zombie thing you mentioned that came out of the water. Uh, how it grabbed Bob and it like had no muscle or like
yeah.
anything. I don't think it could even like lifted itself out of the water. It didn't
Yeah.
seem like
Honestly,
it.
it was pretty much just a skeleton. It
Yeah.
was something like that wouldn't be capable of moving. I don't think.
Yeah.
Um.
Totally. All right. So here's the question: what do you think Gabriel did? Like, what do you think he's done?
Oh
Or
boy.
if anything at all. Do you think he's a bad guy like Rick says he is? Or I mean, not even a bad guy, just
That he's hiding
survive.
something. You know.
Yeah,
Um. Well, for sure, he's hiding something.
right.
Um. What it is though, and how serious it is, pretty debatable.
Yeah.
Um. He mentions all these kids and stuff.
hmm
Kind of wondering, like, where are they? Like, what happened to them if they lived at a church or whatever?
So you think he like booted him out, or like maybe
He
fed him to the zombies to escape or something?
he could
Pulled
have
like,
done that. I mean, he says he hasn't killed people. That doesn't mean he hasn't
yeah,
like made walkers kill people.
I'm a good person, so I won't kill you, but I'm not
Uh
gonna
huh.
let you, or I'm not gonna let the zombie, or I'm not gonna protect you from the walkers.
Yeah. Go all
Uh,
Batman.
yeah.
Kick someone off a roof and be like, "I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm not gonna save you."
Cuts the rope. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Uh, so Washington. Uh, good thing, I think there's a infrastructure there, like Eugene says, food, water, shelter, protection, or you think it's completely overrun and walkers and bandits roam the streets.
Um. Oh. Well, I mean, I think that they'll probably get there, and uh, there'll have once been a
hmm
cure or some way to find a cure, but it won't be there
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
Like it'll have. things will have happened. Something will have blown up, or zombies will have come in and just destroy their work or something like that.
Right.
Because they're not just gonna go there and be like, "Oh yeah, we have a cure," and
The
then like
end.
save the world.
Uh,
It's
I agree with you. I
uh
think I think they're gonna. I mean, I don't want to make I don't want to try to guess too much off the
yeah.
comics because I have no idea how. I mean, they follow it somewhat closely, same character, same basic storyline, but they add in a lot of things. Like they added Terminus, they added Daryl. You
Mhm.
know, that's quite a lot of differences. Change up a
Yeah.
lot of character deaths, that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be something there,
Mhm.
but it's not going to be a whole lot better than what there is right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't came across a lot more huge groups because, with something like the prison and Woodbury, how close they were to each other, and then Terminus isn't, super far away.
Yeah.
You'd think that
Mhm.
it's all close together. So you'd think that there's a ton more strongholds and survival, cities out there,
Yeah.
especially somewhere cold, because zombies are slower or whatever.
Huh.
In Washington, there'd probably be a lot of leaders and politicians. So
Yeah.
somebody tried to take up power, a lot of weapons as well.
Probably.
Yeah. So do you have any idea what that scratch on the tree was that like everybody's freaking out about? It's like, ooh, zoom into that L or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was an L, I think,
Looked like an L.
or something
So
like that. I think
yeah,
maybe it's like a mark for where the Terminus people have been, maybe,
yeah.
or
Maybe yeah,
something.
trying to like lead their people back. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm.
Um, it wasn't specified though, so who knows? It could be anything.
Mm-hmm. All right. So right out of the comics was basically that piece where he was being eaten,
Yeah.
where Bob was being eaten, except it was
Yeah.
Dale in the comics, like I said.
Uh huh.
Uh, so I mean, it's good that they're sticking close to the comics and they're changing up the characters. I heard that this season there's gonna be a lot of stuff almost directly out of the comics, and there's gonna be some crazy stuff
Yeah.
that happens. So that should be pretty exciting.
Cool.
And what'd you think of that scene, man? That was crazy. Getting eaten and all that.
Yeah, that would have been pretty intense. Just
Yeah,
like camping and all that. But like, sorry.
nice
But
pun. All right.
yeah, I mean, to see if you wake up and you've got this guy that you knew was like had done bad stuff,
Yeah.
and he's sitting there like smiling, just looking at you, and he's eating some meat, and your
Delicious.
leg's gone, I'd be freaking out
Oh,
like
hey.
really bad.
Okay. Yeah, dude, seeing somebody like eat my leg, that'd be very disturbing. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be more disturbing to see them eating my leg like as it's on me, but
Yeah.
still, it's pretty messed up seeing like your
Uh
leg
huh.
on a fire. I don't want that to happen.
No, me neither, man.
I was holding my leg. Uh, oh, there was a sneak peek that came after was basically Sasha, Bob's girlfriend or whatever they are.
Uh
Um, like looking for him. She had like a sniper rifle that had like a night vision scope on it, I guess. And she was like looking. She's like Bob, 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 and she thinks she like sees something. And she looks, and then it's like a shadow moving, and then she like hears something and turns around, and in her scope she sees like a zombie face, and then it like stops.
oh.
Those the sneak peeks usually don't really reveal anything. They're just kind of
Huh.
like ooh tension, and then
Yeah, there's something that's gonna happen to this person, maybe.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it'll happen, but what is it?
Yeah, the
Huh.
sneak peek for season 5 was Carol, Tyrese, and Judith hiding in the forest, seeing a bunch of walkers go by. Like
Really?
yeah, that was a
Oh.
sneak peek. So
I mean, that was in the first episode, so.
yeah, that was a sneak peek for season 5. On like I don't know, it was like season 4, then to season 4.
Okay. Yeah, then it's
But
probably not very significant for.
it's like, that's pretty much every other episode.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not really anything new, but
Mhm.
yep. Um, that's about it, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was this episode. What do you think's gonna happen next episode? Tension and stuff. You think some more people are gonna get eaten? You think
Um,
um
I think that yeah, I mean, more people are probably gonna get picked off Rick's group, and they're gonna be looking for Bob, and probably someone's gonna die or like just go missing,
yeah.
and then they'll like find their group and have a fight or something. Maybe I don't know.
Who would,
Anything could happen.
who else would they kill off? Like I could see Bob. He's not too major of
Yeah,
a.
he's not too important.
I don't think they kill
But there
off.
have been a lot of other major character deaths.
Yeah, I don't think they kill off Rick, Carl, um, Michonne. I don't think they kill them off.
Yeah.
But I think everybody else is fair
I
game.
mean, I think Rick's really the only one that they definitely can't kill.
Yeah.
Um,
I think,
the other guys, I mean, I really doubt it, but it could happen.
yeah. I mean, they could have some powerful deaths with Judith, with Carl. I don't think they'll kill him off. He could be
Uh
a,
huh.
definitely if it's like, oh, 20 years later, he could
Yeah.
be a character, but probably a big character death. I'm pretty sure they're gonna kill off Maggie or Glenn sometime soon because
Uh huh.
I don't know what
Yeah.
else they're gonna do with their story. I mean, yep, it was fell in love, cool, and now they're just done with their character change. Unless it'd be cool to see like Maggie or Glenn, like go kind of really dark, and the other one pulls away or something.
Yeah.
Like they have to do something kind of like Glenn pulls a Rick and eats someone's neck or whatever, and then slices someone's
Yeah.
growing to their throat,
Uh huh.
and then Maggie's like, whoa,
Uh huh.
but. Yeah, they could probably really kill off anybody. Probably not one of the three main character or the three new characters that come in.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Sir face with ponytails and the
And also, I'm hoping that we get to figure out a little bit more about Gabriel,
yeah,
because I want to know what he did, man. So,
yeah.
huh.
I'm pretty sure. All right, this is gonna be spoiler time,
All
spoiler.
right. Yeah.
But it's in the comics. He in the comics what happened. So if you haven't read the comics or don't want to hear this, don't listen. But he locks a whole bunch of kids or not kids. He locks a whole bunch of people who come to his church, and they're like, "Help me" or "Help us," and they're pounding at his doors, and he leaves it closed and lets them die, get eaten by walkers. So and he like listens to them and stuff and like ignores them. They were out there for like days until walkers finally came and killed them. But
Yikes.
yeah, and he just kind of hid in there with his food that he got from. It wasn't a food drive. I'm pretty sure it was just like crackers or something, or I don't know. But
All right.
yeah, that's what that happened. And also, the comic. What's gonna happen is Bob's gonna die
Mm-hmm.
from the comic. He's gonna die because that's what happens in the comic. Is Dale dies. Bob's gonna die, and Rick and his group are gonna go looking for them. It's probably gonna be an episode. It's probably gonna take a whole episode for them to actually find them, and then next or at the very end of the episode, or maybe next episode, Rick and his group are gonna cut them up, and like he's like maybe we'll have a taste for ourselves. He
Oh,
doesn't,
really?
he like no
Oh,
no,
okay.
but he like cuts them up and makes the other people watch or something, kind of like because they threatened Carl, and he's like, oh no, this ain't gonna happen.
Uh
But
huh.
I think that's what's gonna happen. Rick's
Yeah.
gonna have his revenge, and they're just gonna end whatever Terminus leader had. The Terminites will be extinguished. So yeah, alrighty, that's what I
Okay.
think's gonna happen. But based on the
Sounds good.
comics,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
All right.
See you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
This is NK Productions and Flying Squirrels with a Z.
With this.
With a Z. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's with a Z.
Yeah, it has a Z.
Good night and good night, America. Something. Isn't that like an outro for some? I'm pretty sure it's an
That's
outro
for
like
like one of the news things. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good night, America, and stay
See you
alive.
later,
survive.
alligator.
Yeah. See you later, alligator. But yeah. Peace.
Bye.
It's hilarious. It's not that funny. Zeus. All right, police station. This is what we're talking about. Come on, machine guns. Okay, that just happened. Handgun.